Hey guys, it's Christian, and in today's tutorial, I'm gonna show you how you can create this bounce effect. So let's dive into it. As the first thing, we're gonna need the assets to build a scene. So for this example, we'll be using assets from the PNG egg. Let me show you how you can download them. So simply head over to the PNG egg, and all we need to do is find a table. For this example, we can use a table like this, or you can download any table you like. And then we'll need some ball, basically some asset that is bouncy. So for this example, I used the tennis ball. So you can download it as well. And then once we have our assets ready, we need to set the scene. So the first thing, we're gonna drag and drop this table and then scale it up a bit. And then the second step, we're gonna bring this tennis ball over here. Okay, so we set it up like this. Okay, now we need to adjust the ball a bit smaller. And now let's make it like this so it matches the table. And now what we're gonna do is we will add the keyframes. So I add the first keyframe in the beginning of the ball. Then I move a couple of keyframes on the right. Let's say 10 seconds. Then move back to the beginning of the clip here. And we're gonna select the first keyframe and move the ball here. Okay, and as you can see, we just created this falling effect. Now, in order for us to create the bounce effect, we need to right-click the second keyframe, and then you will have option show all presets. What we're gonna do is we're gonna select this rebound out. So as you can see, what it did is this bounce effect. However, there is one issue that it drops under the table. Yeah, so we don't want this. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna bring the ball a bit higher like this. So now it looks much better. So the ball actually touched the table. However, then it ends in the air, which we don't want. So again, we're gonna move, let's say 5 frames on the right. All right. Now we're gonna add third keyframe and bring the ball on the table like this. So let's see what we're gonna do. And as you can see, now it created this bounce effect. However, something is still off. And in order for us to make it realistic, we're gonna need to create some shadow. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna drag and drop the text, and I'm going to create the circle. So we can do this simply by typing I, scale up the I on 9000, change the color to black, and now create a compound clip. Now bring it under the ball. And now we need to create a circle. So we go to the video mask section, add mask, circle, and we just created the circle. And now we need to adjust the size so it matches the ball. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale it down a bit and bring it onto the table. We need to change the shape of the circle. So let's make it like this. Also, in order for us to do it, we need to remove this ball so we can match the table. Okay, like this. And scale it down so it matches the table. Okay, so now it looks much better. But this still doesn't look like a shadow, right? It just looks like a black hole in the table. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll down to this feather and then let's set it on the 70. And as you can see, this looks more like a shadow. Now we need to animate the shadow as well, right? Because the shadow will not be there if the ball is not there. So what we're gonna do is you select again the shadow and go to the animation and do fading. Okay, and now the fading needs to match the fall of the ball. So we're gonna set it like this. Okay, that's better. And just like that, we created this bouncing animation just under 5 minutes. So if this video was helpful for you, I would appreciate your like and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments what would you like to see next. See you in the next one.